Okay, I think we're ready. Okay, I'm going to call the meeting to order. It's March 5th, 2024. It's the Bryant Water Wastewater Committee monthly meeting. Okay, our first item.
So the first, I make a motion that we allow public comment.
Okay, we'll move public comments to the first thing of the meeting. It's not on the agenda. We have a second.
I'll second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're now in the time of public comments. Yeah, sorry.
I'm surprised the room's not packed. That's free.
Oh,
No, my name's Mark Elder. I represent my father, Fred, and Rita Elder. Our warehouse is 2501. Of course, I'm glad my pipes didn't bust. I left my water running. My water bill for this coming month was $200 instead of my regular 120. We left the water run at the warehouse. The 2 days of 6 and 5 degree weather, it busted. We couldn't tell till water was coming out on the old dock. So I had the secondary shot valve, shut it off. So, of course, you call a couple of plumbers. A couple of them said, and it was, we have one sink and one toilet in that warehouse. It's on city water. Which don't need sign it. You got a pen? Anyway, long story short, all the plumbers you all know, one quoted $650, came out, one quoted $650. Finally got a gentleman to fix it for $400, so we paid that. And I've had issues at my house over the years, 22-year-old home. I finally replaced the toilet myself and my water bill went down. But I've had I guess my question is, by ordinance or whatever, is the maximum we can get off or write off is 50% of the $680? And the second question would be, it might have changed, but when I had a $500 water bill, I thought I had 6 months to pay it out. You only get that once a year. So that's really just my question. I thought it was, it's just a bad freeze. We read outside the pipes. Probably they wouldn't have best if I let the portable heater in there. But like I said, it's the first time, hell, we built the warehouse in '80. And this finally had a leak due to the freeze. So.
well, you're right about just the one time a year. There is
Yeah.
just the one time a year that you can get an adjustment. But I think he can talk with Angela and get a payment plan. Am I correct?
So it's 50% water, 50% sewer, and then there's a payment plan option also.
Yeah, because they told Dad on the phone 25% of down per month or something. I mean, we just need to see what it be. So what do we need to do? Do we need to, you just need to tell us tonight what we owe the next 5 months or 4 months, or how will that work?
It'll be 4 months. Once
Oh,
the
there's
lease
Angela.
adjustments are approved, which you guys are in here for, and then Angela will give you a holler tomorrow and give you all that stuff.
Okay.
There is some paperwork to fill out for that.
So basically, I'm thinking in my mind,
This is all the adjustments that somebody has requested, and all the
90, whatever.
facts that back it up, the
It's better if
receipts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it says adjustment.
We gotta go by our ordinances, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's your date, Bert? Never mind. Thank you for your time,
Yeah.
especially you,
Uh-huh.
man.
Thank you. Okay, that was appears to be our only public comment. Next on the agenda is the leak adjustment review, and I assume that all of these have the correct paperwork and documentation.
I've been through them and Angela has been through them. You guys have some individual questions?
You said his was in here?
Yes, it is. It's on
Yes.
It's under Fred
Uh,
Elder.
the second page. Yeah, on the bottom of the second page. And everybody provided paperwork for you, Angela, so I'll make a motion that we approve these adjustments.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve these adjustments. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Next up on the agenda is the approval of the February minutes. And I think they're right after all the leak adjustments reviews. Doesn't appear to be anything out of the ordinary.
I'll make a motion to accept it.
I second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the February 2024 minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Next on the agenda is the financial reports from January.
So it's, the very beginning of the year, so there's not a whole lot to talk about yet. But, when we have those, one thing to continue to note is we have not gotten the money from NRC yet, so the water does, we're very critically low.
Water does what?
Looks low.
Okay.
If I remember right, wasn't that coming soon though? Last month we,
May, June.
okay, yeah, still longer than I thought.
That's what we've been told. so
But it is
far.
March.
That's what we've been told so far. So,
Okay, so not that far.
so,
But we're meeting the requirement that is required, 10% or whatever. Okay.
Wastewater is doing pretty well. The infrastructure was put in place last year, so I think it's good. And also the beginning of the year, we make a lot of our capital purchases and stuff, so you see a lot of cash flow go out. So besides that, we're looking good.
Okay. Do we need to vote to accept those?
Just
No,
to-
because council votes
That's what I thought.
before they come to you guys.
Just review it, right?
Yeah. If anybody's, it would be long here, but these documents are large and have changed just recently since the power system. So if anybody has questions, we can always take time to get together and look at these either individually or stay with a special meeting.
Financial report.
Okay. Next, under old business, we have the leak adjustment policy under Public Works.
The recommendations that you guys made to council, went to council last month and they passed, and there was an emergency clause on it, so it kicked in automatically because we had these adjustments coming out. I didn't want to wait till 30 days out.
Okay.
There's a copy there, highlighted in yellow for the changes that were made, but it wasn't perfect.
So
So this is your newest copy.
this is the newest, and then these two are
They'll be added in a second.
the what?
We haven't talked about it yet.
Oh, okay, okay, something different. So this is the newest leak adjustment policy, the way I wanted to reword it, okay.
But,
I'll take that home, so
you
I'll
know,
have a copy
we'll
with me.
start
Yeah.
checking all this out and stuff, but then I realize I'm not a CPA.
Okay.
Okay. I'll take that too.
So we don't need to vote on that, it was already approved
Yeah, this
also.
one,
Okay.
give you enough to-
Okay, under new business, first we have the introduction of Nancy Pruitt.
This is Nancy Pruitt.
Hey, Nancy. She's taking
Mr. Bob.
Bob's place.
At some point this year, we will have to get Nancy and Mr. Leroy, Act 605 training.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, I forgot about that, yeah.
Which training?
Act 605.
Okay.
Is that something we have to do ever so often, or just one time? I can't remember.
Most of you guys have been here long
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah, because
Well,
I did it.
Several of us went through the training, or they offered it
It's
anyway,
good to
so.
go through. You don't
Yeah.
necessarily have to, but there is an update to it now, Act 645,
Oh,
545. So we probably should at some point go back and reconsider training on some.
but that's probably a good idea, if there's some changes.
Mariah does have to do a report every year. This year's report will be due in January of 2025 about who's taking care. So, but
Well-
we'll get you guys that.
Will you try to get it local for their training?
I believe you can go online.
Yeah, you can
Oh,
do it
it's
online,
online.
so we were gonna send out some dates if you want, we can just send out the dates to everyone, and then if you wanted to do the training, you're more than welcome to. It's 8 hours, it's a Zoom course. I think they do it in one day. so-
Oh, it's on Zoom? We didn't do it. We did it. It
Yeah,
wasn't on Zoom. was
No.
it?
yeah, they've added
No.
Zoom.
There was an online training available then, and then the gentleman who did it was one of the few trainers in the state. He was
Yeah,
local,
You
so-
came to it,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. If you've been on the board more than 10 years, you're technically exempt, but like Tim said, it's good to have.
Yeah, I think, because I learned a few things that I wasn't aware of, and I don't, Kathy may not, but it was very interesting. So will the training on the new act be in that training as well?
Yeah, and they'll mention the changes, because it does
Okay.
correlate back to Act 605, but it's, yeah, I mean, there's a few minor changes, but
Okay.
it's a different act.
we don't wanna go through the whole thing, if we just wanna review some of that new stuff, can we get into it without having to do the whole thing?
Yeah, you're more than welcome to attend it, just make sure that you tell them that, that you're not gonna be in it the whole time so that they don't print a certification for you. Like,
Oh,
you won't
okay.
get your certificate if you don't stay the full 8 hours,
Right,
so.
okay.
Okay, we're gonna have a motion right here, I believe, is that correct, Leroy?
Yeah, I make a motion, be section 6, to review the system infrastructure fee. I'm sorry, I'll get that out in a minute. So make a motion that we review the system infrastructure fee.
Okay. All right,
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
we have to vote on that, I guess. Would you like to make all 3 of these at once?
They asked me to do it each
Oh, each
individually.
did, okay. Okay, so we have a motion on the floor to discuss the system infrastructure fee. I have a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Okay, that's been added under the new business, so.
This is a one-pager that we kind of put together on the system infrastructure fee. We know we've been getting a lot of questions about it from citizens and, just people in general, so we want to make sure that we had kind of all the information together. There's a little bit about our water and wastewater system, the lift stations, things like that, and kind of what exactly the fee is funding to clear up any confusion and stuff. So we wanted to get your guys' feedback and comments about the sheet. And any changes that you guys think that we should make before, we take it to council or just distribute to whoever has questions. It's a little bit late since it passed, a while ago, but it's never too late for information,
So this is going out in the water bills? Is that what's going to happen?
It'll probably go out in the newsletter and on the different social medias. One of the things we're gonna do, make a pretty hard effort this year with so much happening, is you'll see more and more of these little graphics. We're gonna try to get them out there more often.
Yeah, we're working on one for Saline Regional right now as well, so that one, obviously, for Saline Regional is a little bit more fresh, so.
I like that your monthly payments allow you to pour back into the city.
Yeah, Tim got that too.
Mariah, is this one of the things that you created as part of your project for that?
It's not, no, we created it before I got part of the project, but we did it part of it, but, yeah.
So there's nothing to vote on this, is
There's
just,
not.
we're just discussing and
I
reviewing.
just wanna let you guys know that there's better communication, it seems,
This is really nice.
graphics
Yeah,
and stuff,
it is.
grab people's attention. And it doesn't necessarily go into the weeds, it gives you a really clear idea if somebody has a question, kind of lead on what they're gonna have questions on.
Okay.
So, you'll see more of these. I'd like to tell you you're gonna see one a month, but we'll see more.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to review the meter replacement resolution that the city council has put forth.
Okay. We have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second. Okay, we have a motion on the floor to review the meter replacement resolution. All in favor? Aye. Okay, the motion passes.
This is the basic template that ANRC sent over, a resolution of intent, that we're basically going to utilize the drinking water state revolving loan fund for the meter project. It's just kind of something, obviously just checking one of those boxes again, so we'll take this to council in March. But it is their basic template, and Ashley has reviewed it and approved it.
You guys do not vote on this resolution, but I would appreciate if you voted for a recommendation for council to approve.
Just
it.
vote to recommend it to the council
the
for approval.
ANRC money, yes. But we've always done it for every resolution we've approved, so we're going to keep this standard.
So we do that now? We want, okay. So say that again. You want us to,
Every resolution we brought to you guys, we ask for a recommendation to council.
Okay.
So- And this is for that.
So what are we doing? You're asking for $3.5 million?
We have been awarded $3.5 million. This is part of the process to actually get the
Okay.
Oh,
So,
okay.
okay. So we need to make a recommendation and vote on this being forwarded to council.
$3.5 million.
With our approval.
with our approval,
Or
not just
encouragement for them
coordinating,
to
but that
vote,
we
select,
recommend.
vote for it.
Okay.
I'll second that motion, Leroy.
Okay. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Motion passes.
And the last New business, I'd like to make a recommendation to review the resolution put forth on the Leah Circle.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
This is the same one, same template, just from a different revolving loan fund. This is the Clean Water State Revolving Loan Fund Program. This one's we got awarded $1.5 million on this one, so.
And so this has to be approved by our city council to get that money,
Yes, ma'am.
same as the other one.
Yeah.
All right.
So we need,
Actually, the meter one, the meter one was actually optional, but we do just check our boxes, but because it's a different revolving fund, it just has different, I guess, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, simulations, yeah, but so the Leah Circle one definitely has to be on.
This
file.
one has to be.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
so I make a motion that we approve this resolution to go forward to city council.
And recommend they approve it as well.
Yep.
Okay, I second that.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, next, under projects, the first item is Saline Regional Public Water Update.
Saline Regional, all of the contracts are signed and approved and on the county judge's desk, so that was really exciting. The 10 million is going to be released. Engineering work starts now, of course. Matt Dunn Chris is going to bring an engineering agreement to the board the end of March, our March meeting, to get that approved, and then he's going to really start moving forward with it. Saline Regional's attorney will look it over and make sure everything looks good, and then I'm sure all of our individual entities will look it over as well. Matt met with the Game and Fish Commission, Natural Resources Commission, I think I can't remember all of the entities that were on the call, but to discuss the mussel study and make sure that he was getting the correct scope of work of what they wanted to see to move forward with, so that we weren't doing a project that they weren't going to approve. So he's ironing out those details. We should have more information in the March board meeting for Saline Regional, but other than that, the project's moving forward. So the real work starts now for Matt and all of that, so pretty exciting, but let's move forward. And like we said, we should have a one-pager soon to answer any questions that you guys may get as well.
Well, I would like to say that I know I've been attending some of their meetings over a period of time, and I haven't heard people in the community comment on it, so I got the impression people weren't aware of it, but since it's become a public issue that it went to the quorum court and got approval, I've had several people comment that are just community people about that, and they were excited about the fact that we would possibly have our own water source in a period of time. And I've had the opportunity to explain to them about the length it's going to take, but how it will actually benefit Bryant. So I'm glad to know that the word is getting around and that people are kind of getting excited about it.
Yeah, we just want to make sure to provide you guys with all the information that we talked about and have ironed out and things like that. So
Okay.
obviously there's a lot of variables to the project, so we tried to keep those variables out to make sure that we're spreading the common information about it that's been approved. So.
Mariah did put it together one pager like we did for the infrastructure fee today or yesterday. We're just waiting for the other entities to approve that we'll distribute that. So we'll bring that next month. About this.
Are you up to speed with that?
No.
Okay. Do you want to give Nancy the 5-minute overview of that project because she's not familiar with it?
We got a little bit the other day in the office.
Okay.
So you want
But-
5 minutes or you want to come see us and we'll.
I'll come see you.
Yeah.
I'll come see you. How about that?
Anyway,
We can show you the one-pager.
It's 5 minutes, almost makes it feel like it's not
Yeah.
as important as gargantuan as a project is.
Okay.
So, plus if we're in the office, we can show you the river and all of this stuff.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool project, so I want to make sure that we get all the information we need.
And after that, we can torture you and take you for a walk at the treatment plant.
Yeah, exactly.
Filter.
Is there any further discussion on the Saline Regional Public Water? Okay, moving on to the next project is the wastewater master plan.
Okay, I'm probably gonna wander around here for this, but, so the wastewater master plan was kicked off last year. we did the modeling in wet weather season for this year. So this is the preliminary numbers that came back. This was the first presentation that RJ Ennis gave us, Chris and then actually. So, this is just the agenda that went over the flow modeling, the modeling results, bill calibration. There's some stuff in here that there's gonna be some numbers, but it's proprietary information, so if you look at something, I might not know the answer to it, but I'll try to do my best. So there was 7 flow meters in the different basins, and this is kind of really hard to see, but basins 7 and 6 flow to lift station 5, which goes to the treatment plant. 3 and 1 gravity systems that go straight to the treatment plant. 2 and 5 treatment plant, and then 4. And then 6 rain gauges, which we had installed 3 years around the city at different lift stations, were used also. And the rain gauges we used because if we get 2 inches of rain, and we look at our SCADA, and it's pumping all sorts of crazy, we say, yeah, we probably have a little bit of water inflow there. So, one of the reasons we pushed for the wastewater master plan so hard for it in the beginning is because you want your modeling done in the wet weather. You don't want it in the dry weather. It's not an accurate portrayal. So pump curve used, 34 to 41 lift stations. Pump curve is just the pump's efficiency if it can push the flow. Wet well sizes where they didn't have the information were assumed. The data from lift station 5 being our biggest lift station in the city. We're working on getting some more of that together with Jack Tyler to get to RJN, so there was some assumption in there for that. Again, these are preliminary, so don't take these for gospel yet, but just to run through. So they used our GIS, which has our both our utility systems, our water and our distribution, but they already used the sewer. Water bill and data back in 2022, and then the 2020 census block. And our current aerial photography through the GIS system we use, they do it every year. And this year it's a 3-inch resolution, so it's pretty cool. We can get down there and see quite a bit. This is the program they use that they upload their information in. So just to give you some background in it, it's their program by one of their software people. They use 2-foot contours for everything. Sewer basins or wastewater basins are essentially based off of drainage basins because gravity is the best way to flow it. Of course, you have to pump it every now and then, but so that's where the contour lines come in. Manhole rim elevations were assumed at 2 feet contours. The sewer locations that we did not know the depth, they assumed 6 feet, which is about an average one for us around here. So these sub-catchment assignments, so this little green dot would be a manhole, and these would be different service lines from the individual house or commercial building. So this is how they do the average population house. It's not all going to be 2.63. What they do is they take a portion of the block, and the equation will be coming up. They take a portion of the block that they have studied and the subcatchments and the main lines, and then they come up with the average household size. So you'll see this is all the same neighborhood, but this area, because of the housing density is 2.63, this one's 2.96 and 2.68. Billing records again, this thing we mentioned more than once in here. Average household size. So this is your residential flow, the 80 gallons per day, and 60 gallons to 100 is a 10 state standard number that's used. Water billing data defines residential, non-residential, estimated 90% average daily water use. So for non-residential. So this is one of the ones that's pretty amazing. Last time, 2017, so we've had a 25% increase in population according to. So that's a huge increase.
In the last 5 years, basically. I kind of thought our birth rate had slowed down a little bit in the last few years.
When somebody says, I don't understand why the sewer system has to be upgraded, well, You added 25% to it,
Yeah.
or not you, we. This is just a graphic of, you know, what 2017 Google Earth made, and this isn't the whole city, it's just a section, and then the newer one, you can see, yeah, this one, and that one particularly. So it went from dirt to house.
Where is that?
This is off at North Lake, so this would be Kensington, that would be,
Richmond,
what's that?
is it Richmond?
And there's a little subdivision over here. And then this samples is that forest main that we have that comes way out from here and comes all the way back into the city and dumps into the Bethel lift station up there off of Zuber Road.
Oh, okay.
Laptop there for a moment.
Here you go. That's how many linear feet in 2017 of the sewer network, and this is beginning of 2023. So not bad for 10 guys to take care of it. 10 women and guys. The graphics are hard to see, obviously, they're tiny, but they're just demonstrating the added pipes. So this, one's the real pump flow and one is the predicted, and this is what you want to see. They mimic each other. You don't want to see this big giant spike and then one be way down here.
So how many pumps do you have on that screen?
That is based in 6, so there's probably 8.
Okay. What's the number of the station at Shelby and Raymar? That lift station?
Yep.
Because on that rain, that 10 days ago, that rain we had, that sewer line went underwater. And I don't know if y'all have 100% sealed those up or not.
So, we'll get there.
Okay.
Maybe not that particular one, but one of the things that's really cool about the modeling. So here's a wet weather event again. When you see the green line goes up, the blue line goes up, they come down pretty much at the same time. So that's what you want to see. You don't want to see a whole bunch of inflow and your pump's not keeping up with it. Ideally, you wouldn't see any inflow, but that's impossible. Same thing, just different basin. We have more inflow now than we had in 2017. See the blue lines being taller than the green lines? So,
What's the definition of wet weather? Or they use it?
rain event, they usually use a 2, 6, and 10.
Okay.
So there's a graphic in here that they'll go through the period and also the intensity. So if it was an hour and 3 inches, there's also a portion there that said, hey, we got 1.5 in half an hour or something like that. But added INI is, I mean, it's kind of expected when you expand your population that much. Yeah, see, this is, the peak rainfall was 3.96 inches in an hour. Depth was 3.16. And then this equates to your million gallons. And if you can't hear me because I'm speaking to the TV, let me know, I'll turn around and talk. So to what Mr. Leroy was saying, these right here are actually come off lift station 5. Like I said, sewer typically follows drainage basins. You can see there's a creek right there. Like Darren Robertson likes to say, when creeks overperform, come out of their banks, they're now over the top of the manhole. If it's not sealed, the manhole itself isn't sealed, or there's a break in the line, or if there's a crack in the concrete, all that water's coming into the sewer system, which means we have to treat it because it's coming to the treatment plant. If they surcharge, you'll typically see this little lid will be pushed up. What you don't want to see is the whole lid missing. Or, you know, our lines actually do run through some of the creeks. You don't want to see a cracked line just taking in all that water. Which isn't typical because they're cased, but it has happened. Smoke effects, so when they smoke test the system, what they do, they literally just pump a ton of, they take a manhole and a segment of line, they sandbag it, and they just pump a whole bunch of smoke into it to see where it comes out. If it comes out the vent stacks of the house, good. If it's coming in your house, bad. But, you know, from there, it's from the service line. So we wouldn't take care of it anyways. It's an issue with the plumbing somewhere in the house. We've seen them come out of drainage culverts. Cleanouts are the worst problem. You know, that little 4-inch cap in your yard, if you have one, gets hit with a lawnmower or whatever, it breaks off, or just gets buried for centuries and is broken and rotted. So this is a clean out right here. So this is a car wash, this is a clean out. Guess where all the car wash flows to? Of course. So any of that water that doesn't get captured by the car wash is entering our wastewater stream, which means we are treating that. That is outside of Tropical Smoothie. That was their service line, was actually through the culvert. How that happened, I have no idea, but it was broken. So, but again, that water that goes through the culvert pipe comes into the sewer system. For a multitude of reasons, this is a bad one, but grease trap right here, dumpster right here, clean out right there. So not only getting the water, you're getting anything else anybody didn't throw away or is leaking out of the dumpster or grease trap. That's an actual line that's broke. It had collapsed, and the reason you see the hole is because, you know, the wastewater running through it basically hid it away, so now it's getting rainfall in the top. And to remember, some of these things aren't like sitting in the middle of a parking lot, or that they can be way off in the woods somewhere. So part of the study is they have to identify every manhole in the system. There's over 700. So here's what the 2-year, 6-hour design is on. So predicted SSO is 7. An SSO is a sanitary sewer overflow, which means sewers coming up from the station and or manhole cover. These daisies are illustrating the manholes.
That have had those episodes?
This is the ones they're going to model here in a minute.
Okay.
They're just kind of telling you where they are. These lines, these red lines are the ones the model said are at capacity. If you notice this one, that's Leo's Spring Hill, which we got awarded NRC stuff to reroute that line. So that is one we will reroute. And it comes over to this Prickett line, which we know it actually runs flat, it's not at capacity. So it'll pull the flow off of this one and this one. So these will go back to not to capacity, and we'll have that other line coming across. Is this one of the animated ones, Brandon? Yeah. He has to hit play, I don't have an option. Is this one? No, you're fine.
Is it working now?
No, we
We
can
were having
go.
problems with this earlier.
That's okay, we can go to the next one after. So this is demonstrating basically this line right here is your main sewer line and the different grades. Here's top of ground. And then these are your actual manholes. And this is just this is showing a surcharge event. So just because it's surcharges doesn't mean it's coming out. It's filling the manhole. Now, that one would be one to worry about. Those and those and those and those would definitely be ones to worry about. But a surcharge event just means that you can't keep up with the flow, so it's coming back into the manhole and back into the line, basically. I think this is the one that played. And it's a little slow.
Trying to pray, it's just not going to do it. It was working without the slideshow.
Okay, so what this animation does, it takes that storm event we just talked about, And it models it based off of their monitors they put in the ground, and it will show the flow filling your main line, and then as it surcharges, which one surcharge more or less or out. And all this information right here, it's line size, it's grade, slope, depth, all that good stuff. So, well, that's a bummer. They're kind of cool when they play. So this is the one that North Cricket one I was just telling you about, this one. When we do that Spring Hill line, it'll pull some of that flow off there, so it won't appear it's at capacity. Like I said, you saw the other one that did kind of, this line did this. This is just kind of flat. It's supposed to be playing, but it's not. Those are the manholes on it. That is one of the deeper lines. So the EQ basin is something they also study. It's a 15 million gallon capacity EQ basin. It has to be cleaned out every so many years, but what they'll do is they'll model the flow coming into it, and it doesn't always get flow. We pump to it also. If we're having this massive rain event and the treatment plant's at capacity, we'll basically store it in the EQ basin. Here's your treatment plant. Gravity forcing. And then, now this is kind of your first treatment process over there. It's the screen, it's the bar screen. It pulls, it's literally just a screen that rolls and it pulls all the big stuff out. So your informed material, so you get mostly just waste to the actual treatment plant, not 2x4s, bowling balls, whatever else has come down through there. It does have to be manually cleaned out. So, it's gross, to be honest. These are just line graphs. They're hard to kind of see what's going on without any reference behind it, but it's part of the treatment process and the actual plant. This is pumping into the EQ basin, like I was saying. So this is a rain event. Here's a ton of flow. That's what we sent to the EQ basin during that time. So you can see at some point.
So the EQ basin, you can backfill it to keep from overflowing the plant.
Yes, sir. Yep, and during real dry months, we'll keep extra water in it because you need, or extra wastewater because you need it to flow to the plant. So
Right.
We'll use it as a little reservoir.
So by doing that, that keeps us out of EPA's or
ADQ.
yeah, ADQs.
Yeah, we're still under a consent action order, administrative order.
Mm-hmm.
Not on that island alone, a lot of people are. It's just something we have to continuously work on, but again, you see 25% growth.
Yeah.
And those orders aren't necessarily the worst thing to be under, as long as you're being progressive in your system and trying to.
Yeah.
That's the pump curve to the treatment plant. Or to the basin, I'm sorry. So, like I said, there wasn't the information for lift station 5 that they're asking. A VFD is a variable frequency drive. What it does is it allows the pump, rather than just kicking on at 100 miles an hour, it slowly brings the pump up, slowly brings the pump down, depending on what kind of loads you got. So that is, and lift station 5 will absolutely be one of our focuses because it is the largest station. It does take more flow than anybody else. So in order to continue development, that station will need to be upgraded.
Where is it located?
Okay, Evergreen and Choke. It's actually in Alexandria. The bridge you designed, when you're standing on it to the left, you can see it. More of this is like drain back operating. That's going into different SCADA, which we're looking into also. We have SCADA and MOSA system, not all of it. The future master plan, or so we were asked, and I do have a graphic and I brought the map too. Not everything that's being built is on GIS right away. Like I said, it only gets updated once a year as far as the pictures of the subdivision. Now we add the infrastructure in-house as it gets built. So we were asked to basically take a map, mark it up, and then in another system, make a digital copy of it, Where's the development they haven't seen? Where's the development that's already built that they don't have? And where's the development that we know is going currently? And where is the future development looking at? Now, the future development is kind of like an educated guess, because we don't exactly know, but we got together a community development, and some of my staff, and we sat down and said, okay, where have we gotten phone calls from engineers, developers saying, hey, I'm looking at this piece of land, look, because at that point, we highlighted it in yellow and said, it's at least been looked at, so it needs to be taken into consideration. And that future development, remember, our sewer system goes well outside our boundaries, our city boundaries. So it's just not within the city, it's all our portions of the county that we can serve. Questions? And I brought the little map you want to look at. Can you pull it through?
So just a rough estimate, how much more growth can the city take? Not counting infrastructure, but with
Not
property.
even gonna say that number, because I don't know.
Okay.
And I don't want the hell to.
But are we predicting this 25% rate of growth to continue for a while?
This study will tell us. Because, like you said, I think it's generally starting to tail off, but it could just ramp back up depending on how things go.
Yeah, if interest rates drop and, yeah, okay.
So a little hard to see, but these yellow spots are they're either developments that exist or are in building that weren't on the GIS map when Chris pulled it, or there's little ones that say future development. Those are areas we know. We've had phone calls that said, hey, I'm looking at this area. And some of them are very large areas. This is a huge area. There's several hundred homes. Yeah, and that's not to say it would
And that's on the north side?
Overnight, yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's not to say it would be developed overnight, it's all in phases, but, you know, just because a developer says, hey, I'm gonna do phase 1, 2, and 3, it's gonna be 200 homes, well, we can't plan for just phase 1. We have to plan for all of it.
Now, is the developer fronting any of the cost on that?
Right now, they just pay their impact fees. And, well, that's not true, they install all the infrastructure.
Okay.
They take off, they typically take out improvement district or bond. So yes, they do pay for the initial install.
Okay.
There's a 2-year warranty bond on it. So within 2 years, if something happens, they have to take care of it. Also, part of the process of us accepting a subdivision is they send us the camera logs, and basically the camera goes to the sewer system, and we verify all the connections or where the as-bills say the connections are. And that's so that way when we get a set of as-bills, you know, hopefully 600 years down the road when there's a problem, somebody can go, it's here, they dig it up and it's there. I tell you, that doesn't always happen.
We have trouble finding as-built all the time in our office. So that'd be a first.
They're supposed to be the final and completed documents. I would say they're more than very good about that. But yeah, that is part of the process. They video the system, they are to review it, and then send it to us, and we have to review it. Like I said, it still comes with that 2-year bond. That bond is based on basically a minimum of $50,000 and/or 50% of the cost of the system. I guess just going with that, you know, we prefer gravity over anything else. So we try to stick to the gravity, it's tough terrain, that's why we have 42 lift stations. And you go stand on Wilkerson or Simon, however you want, whatever section you're on, you can see 4 lift stations from one hill.
From the road itself?
If you go stand on top of it, look at lift station. And don't, also, lift stations aren't always this huge, great thing. They could be a can in the ground. I mean, we have a lot of smaller cans in the ground. And then we still have about 145 P1 grinder pumps that are up typically in the hills that we maintain. Questions?
But we've stopped allowing that, right? Okay.
They are a case-by-case basis.
Oh,
First,
okay.
that what has changed is that the developer has to put one in. We do not accept it as a city. The E1 pump service line, what portion of the force main that it's on, is not the city's responsibility.
Okay.
Okay. There's no other questions. Next under project is the water master plan.
Just because we were talking about this, the water master plan just kicked off, maybe 60 days ago. They're still gathering information. They have access to water billing stuff. They have, we've sent them all sorts of meter readings. They can actually see the portal too. They have a view-only portion of the portal, so they can see the different uses and stuff. I will say they did a master plan for another city that is nearby, but it's not the nearby one. We always call the nearby one. And they have a new meter system also. And when they saw what we presented to them for the portal, they were absolutely stunned, which was kind of nice. They said that it'll make their job so much easier, which doesn't translate to dollars, but it was nice to hear somebody who sees all these different systems saying this is great.
Okay, the final item under the projects is the rate study, Act 605.
Per ordinance, every 3 years, we have to do an external rate study. It happens to be this year. We also have to do one 18 months out from 2026 per Act 605, so we will be doing those. One of the things about Act 605 to remember is there's a change in rates. The Act kind of dictates it, it's not voted.
So we can't use the same study for both? One has to be within 18
We'll use
months
the
of
same one.
26?
We'll
Okay.
use the same one. That's, we're gonna wait
Oh,
till,
we
we're gonna
can.
wait till.
Might be wait till the end of this year.
Yeah,
That's
we're just gonna do it this
satisfiable.
year. We're gonna wait
Good,
till we're
okay.
down to 18-month window. There's no point in doing two of them,
Right. Okay.
so.
Is there anything else under projects?
Unless you guys got questions.
Also, the next item or heading is reports, but there's nothing under it. What's that?
There isn't any right
There isn't
now.
any, okay. And that's all that's on the agenda. Is there anything else?
That's it. Unless you guys got questions for us.
If not, I guess I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay,